It is 7:35, y'all. So let's get started. Let me take this comment down. First of all, happy Sunday, y'all. Thank you for sharing your Sunday evening with me. My plan was not to come here on the weekends. My plan was to have the weekends for me, but the story kind of broke over the weekend, and it was just really on my spirit to just not only talk about the story, but really give a step by step breakdown through my particular lens and my particular vantage point, and just connect the dots in ways that some of our other more cis focused platforms are not connecting the dots, and really talk about how this lands for Black trans women and femmes, because I know this is a story that I am watching, I am paying attention to, because I know that this type of violence is not limited to Black trans women with platforms like the T.S. Madisons and Dominiques and Cherries and Danica, excuse me. This is something that impacts all of us. And when I see how people, specifically Black cis women, how they respond to the DL Whisperer, I I know that I'm not exempt from that. So I just think it's time for us to have a deeper, more nuanced conversation about that. So we will get to it. But before that, definitely want to do some housekeeping. Hi, my name is Brianna Jenkins, but here you can call me Aeon, and welcome to another episode of AeonEsq Live. I believe this is episode number 5. We have 4 episodes that are already available. A bulk of this last week, we were talking a lot about America's Next Top Model and the fallout from that. And baby, those were some really, really, really great episodes. This is a new show, a new platform that was literally started last week. So this is definitely new space for me, but I'm just so excited just from the response that I've gotten so far and growing this audience. And ultimately, I think this is something that I want to do full time. So it's just nice to just get my feet wet and just see where I land and just have conversations that are important to me, or have conversations in a way that I like to see certain conversations handled. So before we get started, if you haven't already, please like the video on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please share this video on your platform so we can share it. I'm a smaller platform, I'm newer, so we got to get the word out there, word of mouth. So please share. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/AeonEsq88, AeonEsq88. Please subscribe so that you'll be notified when I post new videos or when I go live. AeonEsq Live is a daily live show that I am doing, and my goal is to go live at least once, about 5 times a week, to just talk about pop culture topics, politics, social commentary on just different shows and things that I'm into. My most recent live episode, I did not an episode breakdown, but just a general review of season 7 of Chasing Atlanta, one of my favorite web reality shows. I plan to review that show every Thursday. So please subscribe to me so that you'll be notified when I go live and talk about that show in particular on Thursdays. But thank you for supporting my platform. Thank you for supporting me. Today's live is going to be limited to the DL Whisperer topic because it's so many layers and there's so many it's so much areas that I want to cover, so it's going to take up all of the time. I intend for this to last longer than an hour. It can be done in an hour, but I think the way that I'm gonna break it down is going to take longer than an hour. And also, I want you all to, this is an interactive conversation. So there will be a time where I will put the share link in the comments so that if people want to come in and comment and give their opinions and their commentary, that folks will be able to do that. You don't necessarily need to be on camera. You can be off of camera. But if you want to come in and you want to add commentary, I definitely want folks to come in and share. Please be just respectful. Don't, if it's people trying to start stuff, I'm very intentional about curating a respectful place, but ultimately I do want people to come in and I want folks to be able to share their thoughts because this is a communal conversation. Because just seeing the impact and the fallout of this is something that is going to impact all of us. So let me get started. Let me go to the desktop. Also, please feel free to be interactive in the comments. If you all have, if there is any issues with the volume or any issues with the sound, please let me know. It looks like we already have a comment in here already. So, Law of Karma, honey, pumps to hear your thoughts. Thank you, Law of Karma. I wonder is this the karma that I'm thinking of? But thank you for putting the comment in here already. And yeah, we about to talk about it all. And again, thank you all so much for sharing your Sunday with me. I know it's a lot of this is reality TV night. So or you probably out at the club. I know here in Houston, there's a show out that I wish I could have went to. I think it's the Texas All Star show, but mate, yeah, child, I ain't even gonna sit up here and lie. I ain't gonna be able to make that show tonight, but sending that show positive thoughts. Hopefully I'll be able to catch the next one. Oh, we got another comment. Oh, hey, Karma. Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you, honey. So let's just get to it. So news broke. I want to say I believe it broke either Wednesday or Saturday. If I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me in the comments. News broke that Naquan DL Whisperer Palmer was arrested on a felony aggravated stalking charge. So I'm assuming most of y'all who are watching this video, either on the live or on the replay, know who the DL Whisperer is. But if you don't, we are going through a deep dive so I can unpack who he is. So this is an image of the DL Whisperer. So I want to go here. I want to go here, share screen. Okay. So I want to share screen and I'm going to pull this out. Let me know if y'all can see this. Let me know if y'all can see this if y'all are watching in the comments. This is giving a webinar tea, honey. Also, let me just go ahead and put the invite link. So if y'all want to come up, I can have y'all in the back room, and then when I'm ready for guests to come through, y'all can come up. Okay. So that link is there. If you want to come up. It's in the chat. Okay. So Gay Magazine reported this a day ago, so on Saturday. And let me see if I can make this bigger. Oh Lord. Not on the screen. Okay. Shout out to Gay Magazine platform. If you're not already following them, please follow them on Instagram. It's kind of like the Shade Room, but with a Black LGBT focus. Lord knows we need that. So, Gay Magazine broke yesterday that Naquan Tydree Malik Palmer, who is widely known online as the DL Whisperer, was arrested this morning at 10:22 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on one count of felony aggravated stalking, according to arrest records obtained by Gay Magazine. Authorities confirmed that a warrant had been issued prior to his arrest. The arrest was carried out by the Gilmer County Sheriff's Office. Gilmer County, I researched Gilmer County. That is located in northern Georgia. Details surrounding the circumstances that led to the warrant have not yet been fully disclosed. As of publication, it remains unclear whether Palmer has secured legal representation or when he is expected to appear before a judge. Palmer's arrest comes on the heels of Gay Magazine's recent exclusive reporting that a Gilmer County judge granted a temporary protective order to media personality T.S. Madison against him. Okay. So yeah, this broke yesterday, and I have been following this story for a while, just kind of in the background, just seeing this person. I've been seeing this person for the past couple of months, and just seeing not only his growth and popularity, but from what I've seen, he's gotten into it with like every major black trans woman social media figure. And from my vantage point, it's just very obvious that this person is using their platform to basically build a following and monetize off of homophobia and transphobia, particularly in the black community. So let me go to the next slide. So here it looks like they have his booking information. Oh, he's 6'4". Oh, so he's tall. Okay, he's 6'4". Okay. Okay. So yeah, this broke yesterday. And just before we go deeper down the rabbit hole, I just want I want to talk about this because I feel like at this point, this is getting out. It was getting out of hand when he came to T.S. Madison's house, and we'll definitely get to that. But this is getting out of hand, and this is really dangerous on so many levels. It's dangerous for him, particularly how he is positioning himself on quote unquote outing these men, or oh yeah, let me make this bigger. I'm sorry. How he's outing these men, and how he is basically positioning himself as quote unquote a person that is protecting black cis women. I just think that is very dangerous. We have so many examples of how that usually ends up getting the person that is doing this noble thing, it gets them harm. And in this effort to protect these black cis women from DL men, you are making sure that you are not protected when something eventually happens to you, whether you get physically harmed or you have to interact with the criminal justice system. Also, I am concerned because of the level of harm that black trans women that they are currently facing, but they could potentially face. And again, something that I deal with is with myself, and I'm no celebrity, I'm no T.S. Madison, but I do have some degree of visibility. Just because of like what I do for a living, and just who I am and what I represent in the community. One thing that I am very aware of is no amount of accolades, no amount of visibility, no amount of money protects you from the danger of moving through the world as a trans person. And it doesn't matter how insulated that you think you are, or how respectable that you think you are. If somebody wants to come at you and hurt you because you're trans, they're going to do that, and it's just nothing that you can do. And I think people put T.S. Madison on a platform. They put Dominique on a platform. They put Laverne Cox on a platform. They put Cherry on a platform, in a way that kind of dehumanizes them, so that when situations happen, like Cherry had the situation last year where she had the stalker. And then we have this situation where, in all intents and purposes, this DL Whisperer person is engaging as a stalker of black trans women. Um, People forget that these people with this visibility and access, that we are not immune from being victims of harassment, being victims of physical violence, being victims of harm. And I think that this hammers that point home. And I think what is even more scarier is that there is a audience of cis people including straight people and gay people, because I've seen cis gay people that are in support of how DL Whisperer is moving. You have an audience of people that is not only encouraging this stalking, harassing behavior, but encouraging violence. And when something happens, you have like an audience of folks that are just going to sit back and let it be a spectacle, and then just walk away. And you have these trans people that could lose their lives. I think that point is getting missed, that we're setting up a situation where you have Black trans women in 2026 that can lose their lives when they don't need to lose their lives, when they don't need to experience harm and have to go through this. So I just want to make sure that is not lost, that while T.S. Madison is a figure, T.S. Madison is still a person, and still a person that deserves care, that deserves safety, that deserves privacy. Dominique is still a person that deserves care, that deserves safety, that deserves privacy. Cherry the Boom is still like, we as Black trans women, as unhuman as y'all try to make us, we still are worthy, and we still deserve these things. And when you have stories like this happen, it really just shows how the larger world is not interested in our humanity. And for me, it's really alarming, and it's just really scary. So let's go to the next slide. So in a nutshell, and I'll give the breakdown of who the DL Whisperer is and what he does from my particular vantage point. So this person has a social media platform, and from what I've seen, and they have a very large following. From what I have seen, basically on their platform, they call themselves protecting Black women, and what they do is they have videos of him accusing people of being DL, or putting out videos where he's giving tips on what makes somebody DL, and what people can look for to detect if somebody is DL. And I should say that none of these tips will work. If you want to know it's just irrelevant. If you want to know that your man is DL, ask your man. You don't have to go through all of these hoops, or all of these games, or constantly surveil your partner's sexuality, or whoever you are interested in their sexuality. You could just be direct and ask them, and not be passive aggressive, but that's another story. But he has amassed a following. He has amassed a platform, mainly supported by Black cis women, basically where he's playing off of women's homophobia, transphobia, to really curate this following, this chaotic following. And it's got him a lot of infamy, but it's also gotten him into a lot of situations that now we are seeing him live through the consequences of his actions and his poor decisions. So that's just a brief synopsis. I'm going to go here to this next story. Let's stop screen sharing, and then let me go here. Let me go here. Okay. So before I get to the story, child, I didn't even know that this DL Whisperer person was feuding with T.S. Madison and Dominique for as long as that. Like, they have been feuding for months. I didn't know. So when was this article? So this article was published on February 11th, so a few weeks ago. So a few weeks ago, so it got to the point where there were, so how I really became aware of DL Whisperer and his negative impact. There was a story, I believe, that Gay Magazine posted, where this DL Whisperer had went to T.S. Madison's house and was outside of her house and threatened her. And I was like, oh, this is real, and this is really happening. So once that happened, T.S. Madison had took out a restraining order against the DL Whisperer. So I'm going to, and as a result of that and it being publicized, Out magazine did an article about it. I'm not going to read the whole magazine, but I'm going to read the beginning, and I'm going to read the end of the article because they really did a good job in this article of bringing it home and really putting into context why this is important, why we need to be concerned about this, and why we need to be talking about this now. So let me make this bigger. So, how a viral interview led to T.S. Madison's restraining order against the DL Whisperer. A quote from her: "He wanted to watch me take my last breath," Madison tells Out in an exclusive interview. Okay. So this was published on February 11th, 2026. T.S. Madison has obtained a temporary restraining order against a content creator who filmed himself driving by her Georgia home while shouting threats of violence, according to Madison and court documents. The court order against Naquan Palmer, also known as the DL Whisperer, comes after months of online commentary that devolved from verbal abuse online to in-person stalking, Madison says. In an exclusive interview with Out, Madison describes the escalating threats as terrifying, exhausting, and emblematic of the particular vulnerability Black trans women face when visibility collides with unchecked hostility. So let me scroll down. So it looks like Out also reached out to Palmer to try to get a comment from him. Palmer strongly denies these allegations. Okay. Madison traces the origin of the situation to June 5th, 2025, the day her now viral interview with Nene Leakes was released. And the entirety of the planet shook, she recalls. During the exchange, the Real Housewives of Atlanta alum stated that men who date trans women aren't straight, with Madison challenging that notion. TMZ was reaching out. Everybody was reaching out. The interview went crazy, Madison says. The interview ignited riot-spirit commentary, think pieces, and reaction videos across platforms. So do y'all remember that interview that Madison did on Nene Leakes' podcast? And the question had came up where, I don't know if it was a question, but no. I think Nene asked a question which a lot of straight cis people ask, which I personally think is just so annoying. Basically, if a man dates you, her talking to T.S. Madison, if a man dates a trans woman, does that make him gay? And basically, T.S. Madison said, no. If a cis man dates a trans woman, no, I can't remember. Okay, ooh, child. Okay, so Nene was like, "Oh, I don't think I would want a man. I don't think I would want to date a man or want to be with a man that also dates trans women, because wouldn't that make him gay?" Like it was something in the vein of that. And Nene was being ignorant while sitting up there, visibly looking like a freshly surged trans woman. So that but there was a lot of commentary around that video and how just absurd it was and how transphobic it was, and really how it was not evolved. And the reality is, especially in the Atlanta metro, but anywhere where Black people live, there's a high degree that there are Black cis men, Black cis straight identifying men that date cis women, but would date a trans woman, or probably have already dated a trans woman or had a sexual encounter with a trans woman. It just is what it is. There was a lot of generative conversation about that, but that is the video that they're referring to. So let me just jump down a little further. Madison posts and goes, says her friend Dominique Morgan. It was Morgan who first noticed how Palmer's content took a turn As the DL Whisperer, he built his brand in a niche part of the social media world, providing insight into how down low or DL men navigate their double lives. But as Morgan asserts, his tune gradually changed. He slowly started to massage his rhetoric around trans women, specifically Black trans women, Dominique alleges. And when he wasn't really getting a response from his followers, with the average trans girl with like 300 followers, it was Madison. And then when Madison did not respond to him, then it was Cherry, Cherry the Boom. And then it was me. Okay. So let me jump down. Okay. So it looks like, okay, Madison annually hosts a party in October to celebrate her birthday, with her 2025 event being a mass party. Friends checked in with her prior to the celebration after seeing posts from Palmer alleging he would attack her there. People started messaging me and was like, Madison, please be careful because this man is saying that he's about to come to your party and attack you, Madison claims. The threat was allegedly explicit, and he said, thank God it's a mass party because I can come there and attack that bitch anytime I get ready. For Madison, this was no longer theoretical. Though she continued to ignore Palmer directly, behind the scenes, she mobilized. I made a video explaining to the dolls to protect themselves, she says. I said the dolls should be armed because in this climate that we're in, no one is protecting us. We need to protect ourselves. So this just kind of calls back to what I said earlier before we got into this this particular article. I'm concerned about this because people look at these Black trans visible figures as anomalies or untouchable or nothing happens to them or they're living a good life. But the reality is we are so unprotected, and the threat of violence and the threat of harm and the threat of us being blamed for that violence being brought upon us is always real. And this situation just exposes to me how people don't see figures like T.S. Madison as human or as capable of being a victim of violence. So I'm glad that this article was able to kind of tease that out. Let me go down. So this is some more weird shit the DL Whisperer has said. Okay. She recalls the situation reached its most dangerous point on January 23rd, 2026. The gentleman said that he was coming to my motherfucking house. Madison recounts, her voice shifting. A video from what appears to be the DL Whisperer's backup account confirms the threat at the 13-minute mark. He was going to beat me until I had an aneurysm, and he wanted to watch me take my last breath, Madison says. In that clip, Palmer is seen live streaming a 2-hour drive from Gilmer County to DeKalb County, where Madison lives. A screen recording from that date was provided to Out, showing the content creator screaming as he drives past her house, screaming out of the window, telling his followers that he was going to beat me until the breath left my body, Madison says. Despite the severity of the threats, Madison remained publicly silent. T.S. Madison ain't saying nothing, she explains, because I knew the moment that I breathe on it, it's going to become wildfire. Just because I'm in silence don't mean I don't know what's going on. So Madison is pursuing criminal charges and plans to see this case through. Morgan received a similar protection order on February 10th and plans to file similar charges shortly. Meanwhile, Palmer is raising funds through GoFundMe to support his legal defense and safe relocation. Although child, apparently he's relocated to the Gilmer County Jail, but we'll get to it. Although GoFundMe prohibits fundraisers for the legal defense of financial and violent crimes, a spokesperson for GoFundMe responded, "This fundraiser remains within our terms of service." Okay, girl. So they reached out to Palmer for comment. He released some vaguely worded statement. We're not going to read it. Fuck him. Okay, so they ended it here, and I'm glad that they did it because it really brings us into context. And again, for everything that Madison is, she is still a Black trans woman in our community. And one thing that I know, having been in this community for as long as I have, and particularly for doing this work that I have, um, for Black trans women, violence can visit us at any age. And I know the famous quote is, nobody lives past the age of 35 and all of that. And that number may be outdated, but there are also older Black trans women who I know have died, who were murdered violently, and murdered violently by intimate partners, or just murdered violently because they are trans. And no, this is not to shade Madison, but Madison is an older Black trans woman. I know she's closer to 50. So I say that to say that we none of us are exempt from this happening to us. None of us are exempt from this type of violence, especially in the world that we are living in right now in the United States of America in 2026 through this second Trump presidency. So the alleged harassment against Madison is not an isolated incident. There is a growing hostility against trans people in the United States. From 2024 to 2025, GLAAD's Alert Desk tracked 932 anti-LGBTQ plus incidents, with nearly 52% of these incidents targeting transgender and gender nonconforming individuals. Meanwhile, the Human Rights Campaign recorded 27 fatal attacks on transgender individuals last year. They began recording in 2013. Nearly 400 deaths have been recorded, with the majority being trans people of color. Okay, so again, it's important for us to bring this in context, because even though DL Whisperer is acting as an individual, he is an individual, a part of a system of misogyny, a system of transphobia, transmisogynoir, a particular type of violence and disdain for Black trans women. So like regular trans misogynoir, but trans misogynoir. He's operating in a system that not only permits him to be violent and capitalize off it, but to also make money off of it and raise money off of his actions. So this is all part of a larger system. Before I go to the next part, y'all, please feel free to, well, before y'all do that, make sure that you like this video. Make sure that you share this video. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. And also, if you want to get in on this conversation, please feel free to comment on here, or if you're part of the replay gang, make sure that you leave a comment on the video. Also, I put the link in the comments for people to, if they want to come up and give an opinion or give commentary, please come up and give commentary. This is a communal space where we can all talk through this together, because I know this is impacting all of us. So, excuse me. Let me get off of this page. Excuse me. And I want to go. Okay, do I want to go here? Okay, so we're going to go and we're actually going to listen to just listen to some of DL Whisperer's antics, just to get an idea of how serious things are and why we all need to take this seriously. So let me get off of this page and let me go here. And thank y'all for being here with me on a Sunday night. I know folks are with their families and folks are doing stuff, so it really means a lot that y'all are here. And I'm really trying out different times. So ideally, I would like to go live every day during the lunch hour at noon Central Standard Time, because I'm here in Houston and we're on Central Standard Time. But I'm just trying different things out. When I went live, like during the evening rush time hour, it was a lot of people that was able to engage. So I'm thinking about maybe adjusting the times and just I wanted to do this as like a midday show, but maybe doing this during the evening rush time hour. We'll see. I'm learning as I go, but please I'll keep y'all updated as I switch things up and change things around and really build the audience. I really want to get to a point and get to a point where no matter what time I go live, that there's a good healthy audience, just so we can have that good engagement with each other. So I'm going to share this page and okay, and we are going to start here.
Over, like I want him dead, and I hate to say that out loud, but I don't think y'all understand. Like, I wish that T.S. Madison was dead. Like, I really do. Like, when I tell you, I ain't never wished that on nobody. I want him dead. I want him dead. I want him to die. That's what people don't get. I want him dead. That bitch is gonna be dead. I'm telling you, like, I just keep having to bring myself back down every time because I'm telling you, when I get to Conyers, I'm gonna find this bitch address. This bitch address is mine. The bitch is gonna have to see me. Like, whether I gotta follow the bitch around and jump out on him and knock him out, a bitch is going to see me. I wanna punch the wall. That bitch is gonna have to see me. That's why I said that bitch home. Oh, he gonna get a visitor today. You gonna see me live, and I'm gonna be like, bitch, I'm outside T.S. Madison house. What you finna do, Maddie? You wanna have a shootout? You wanna have a little shootout? Cause what you trying to do, bitch? Wait till I get to Conyers. Wait till I get to Conyers. Just wait. You trannies are delusional. And when I catch T.S. Madison, I'm going to beat him so bad that all of y'all going to feel it. When I catch Cherry, because I want bitches dead. And you're a tranny. That's why I said that bitch home. Oh, T.S. Madison, bring that ass outside. Look where I'm at, ho. What's up?
So this is the video footage of when he actually came to T.S. Madison's house. Is this repeated or did he circle around? It looks like he may have circled around. And playing Nicki Minaj to add insult to injury.
T.S. Madison!
Okay, y'all. Okay, that's enough of that. So, y'all, this shit is scary. This is not a joke to me. This is really scary because if somebody has the wherewithal to make these threats, to make these threats where they can be documented, and then where you're threatening to shoot me, you're threatening to kill me, you're misgendering me, and then you bring your ass to my house, and you come into my house, like, y'all, this is scary. Like, this is so scary, but this is the world we're living in. This is scary, y'all. This is scary. So I think I'm gonna go here. Okay, so something that added to the increase in his popularity, he was able to go on the Tasha K platform and just spew some more stuff and just get more infamy. So I definitely want to show that interview. And we all know how toxic and techie Tasha K is. So let me get off of this. And let me go here. Okay, so let's go here. And this is when he was on the Tasha K platform.
2020. In 2020, when TikTok was popular, I saw people like transitioning and sticking themselves with needles, and I went against it. Because people always say that I'm just doing this just now. I've always been against transgender people. Because
I heard there's like an underlying beef between the LGBTQ and the T's.
Yeah.
Like there's like us versus them, and they're not a part of us.
Yeah, they're not.
Because essentially gender has nothing to do with your sexuality.
Thank you. But as you can see, what do the trans women always do? Fight to be a part of every single thing that they can be a part of. So they fought to be a part of the LGBT. The first letter is L. It was started for lesbians. The LGBT was originally created for women. They wanted women to have equal healthcare access, which they still don't have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm like, it was never created for people of gender identity.
So the T is a LGBT.
Think about it. Everything is the sexuality except the T. The trans women, like you see now, they want to be a part of everything. So they fought in the 1960s to be a part of the LGBT, to be included. And now they're upset because guess what I'm going to say? You're a gay man, because at the end of the day, if we're going by sexuality, you're a gay man. If we're going by gender, I guess you can call yourself a woman. So they don't like that, I refer to them as gay man, but we have the same body parts. We have sex in the same hole. We have the same hormones. At 45, we're all going to go and get a doctor to stick a finger up our butt for a prostate exam. So we're all men. You're a gay man. You're just hyper feminine. Like, I'm feminine. Like, I don't ever deny that, but I'm not hyper feminine. There's never been a time where I wanted to be a woman, thought I was the woman. I don't think like
metrosexual.
Yeah. Well, I think metrosexual is still not the same. Like, trans women think that they're women. Like, they think that they're you.
Oh, I mean, they can think that.
But they really believe it.
But they can think that.
Yeah. But I mean, and there's
science
laws.
is science, though.
True, but there's laws that protect them.
So you are actually trying to undo the laws when it comes to
I want to lobby.
people?
Yes, I want to lobby. I want to grassroots. I want to raise money because.
So you're trying to get into politics when it comes to this?
And I didn't want to, but I don't really. I feel like I don't have a choice. I'm seeing that it's hurting more women than anything. It hurts women and children.
Ground it up in a powder. I put it in.
Girl, we're not about to sit here and watch her advertise that damn powder that's probably gonna clog up your damn colon. So I have no fears about him trying to be a lobbyist or trying to lobby for something, because he's not very smart. He's not very smart. Lesbians did not. I don't even need to engage with that. I don't need to engage with that. And also, I would be curious to know if he took biology in high school, like what type of grade, because it's just the lack of our education. It's just obvious around gender and history. It's just obvious. This is why we need more stringent educational requirements, so people, when they come out of high school, they can't be this miseducated and then get on platforms just spewing misinformation like this, because that's all that this was misinformation. And Tasha K trying to act like she was impartial, but she's just as problematic as DL Whisperer. But we all knew that. So I want to go here. Okay, so I showed a couple of things to just show that how this is a pattern, how this person is just transphobic, and not only transphobic, but just really committed to the delusion of him saving black women. When I just want to say this, and I'm probably going to say this at the end of the video, women, and this goes for all women, cis and trans, nobody is going to save you. We have to save ourselves. Nobody is coming to save any of us. Black men are not coming to save us. Black butch queens are not coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. I'm talking to all women, black women and cis women. And the whole idea as a woman that a man is going to save you, it's misogynistic as hell, because it feeds into the patriarchy that women are weak, women cannot think for ourselves, that we do not have discernment, and that we are so down and out and we're so fragile that the only way that we can make it through the world is if some man does the work for us. But how many times do we have to get hit over our head, or we have to get exploited or gaslit or be victims of violence by men for us to know that nobody is going to save us? Nobody is going to save us, and we have to save ourselves. And saving ourselves means asking. Part of the let's have this conversation before I go to the next point. And this is to the Black cis woman. Part of the reason that this is for particularly for Black cis het women that date men, that are attracted to men. And I'm giving y'all some game. You can never say I've never given y'all anything. Part of the reason that y'all don't know stuff is because y'all ask the questions in the wrong way, particularly when it comes to whether your man, quote unquote, messes with trans women. Because y'all don't really act, because y'all don't act, well, one, because y'all refuse to accept the word cis for what it is, a specific identifier that identifies y'all, because y'all don't want to use that word, and y'all just want to, well, I'm a real woman, or I just want to be a real woman, or that word oppresses me. That's why y'all don't get the information that y'all need, where y'all can make decisions from a place of fullness. Because because no shade, if y'all would actually accept that word and accept that it is a thing, you could, when you meet men, you could be upfront and ask him, oh, do the women that you date, are they all cis or are they trans? But y'all don't do that. Y'all because y'all group everything up in gay, y'all will, how it goes down like this. Y'all will find a man and then ask him, well, are you gay? Thinking that you saying gay, that's going to sweep trans women right into that. And what I know is that because y'all are not direct with what y'all are asking, and y'all just say gay, and also the men that date trans women, or the men that have sex with trans women and that do so frequently, they know that we trans women are not gay. So they're able to answer the question and say that they don't, and still have the gray area or the space to mess with trans women, because technically you didn't ask them the actual question. You just said gay, thinking that they're going to see us as men, and they don't. So that's why y'all constantly, those who have issues with trans women, those who have issues with the term cis, the words are there, the prefixes are there, so that you can get specific when you need to be specific. Most of the problem is y'all are not asking the right questions, and y'all are trying to be lazy. So that's why you get the answers with the omission of truths, because you give these men a space where they don't have to directly answer the question, because they know that we are not gay men. They know that we're not women, but because y'all don't see us as women and y'all don't pose the question in the right way, you're never going to get the answers that you want, and you're consistently going to be going on these witch hunts when you could just use the terms, update your operating system, and get the answers to the questions that you need. And like, in the grand scheme of things, it really shouldn't matter, because if just because somebody dates a trans woman does not mean there are so many cis het men that even if they mess around with trans women, they're ultimately going to partner and be with cis women, but because that's how the world is set up. They're able to live an easier life that way. They're able to take advantage of benefits and stuff by publicly partnering with a cis woman in ways that they can't partner with trans women. So even if they do mess with us, for the most part, Black cis women or cis women in general are going to be the preference. So like, if your whole goal is partnership and be like, y'all have already won. y'all have already won, but like y'all gotta be. I really need y'all to like really unpack what it is about the cis term that has y'all so messed up, because it's really holding y'all back from really asking the questions in the way that need to be asked so that you can get the information that you need. And again, no, I'm not forcing you, saying that you need to be in relationship with a trans attracted man. Although, in my opinion, I think it's absurd because we are all dating and sleeping in the same pools. And I'm not saying that everybody messes with trans women, but there are a lot more trans attracted men who are able to move under the umbrella of just being straight than is let on. And we all have to update our language so that we can ask the question that yields the best the answers that we need to make informed decisions. And if your discernment or your spirit is off, be adult enough to just walk away. And you don't have to walk away like, just if something don't feel right, just walk away. But all of these little tests and traps, and this is a real, like, this is just not getting us anywhere. And it allows this type of like homophobic and transphobic energy to just fester and grow, and then we're just all moving in boxes and judging each other rather than allowing ourselves to have these full human experiences, one for ourselves, but with each other when we choose to partner and get into relationships with each other. I'm sorry I went on a tangent. I see we have some new people that have come into the video. Thank you for coming in here. Thank you for spending your Sunday with me. If this is your first time to AeonEsq Live, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, also share this video. If you want to comment in the live chat, please comment in the live chat. If you want to come on and share your thoughts and opinions, I will put the link to do so in the live chat. I will put it in the live chat. So if you want to come on and share your opinions or thoughts regarding the DL Whisperer, you are free, please feel free to do that. But thank you for joining me. But yeah, where do I want to go? Okay, so this is where I want to go to next. I want to go stop share screen, and I want to go here. Okay, so this is DL Whisperer's fundraiser where it stands today. So as of today, what's today? Sunday, February 22nd, and let me make this larger. DL Whisperer has raised $11,246. And let's look through this, see if we recognize any names. Okay, so a lot of these donations are anonymous, and y'all should be ashamed. Y'all should be ashamed because y'all are funding bigotry, y'all. Look at all of these people. A damn shame. A shame. Funding bigotry and chaos, and enabling this person to use their platform to openly talk about how he wants to kill and murder Black trans women. How is that protecting Black cis women? Somebody please explain that to me. Tanya Eggleston, Siani Hall, Carmel Bailey, Quinta Game, like 431 donations. Yeah, somebody gonna have to explain to me how is giving this man money. And we saw the videos, we heard the videos where he said he wants to kill T.S. Madison. How somebody gonna have to explain to me how this is protecting Black cis women. I will make the argument that this is not protecting Black cis women. And also, what we need to realize is that the violence that Black trans women face is a offshoot of the violence that all women face, particularly Black cis women. Let's look. Matter of fact, the power of the internet, where we all have access to information and we can look stuff up. Let's use AI for something good. What? How do I want to put this? Leading causes of death for Black women. Let's be specific. Black women. Homicide. Columbia University. Okay. So let's go here. I like statistics, and even though Columbia University is a fool for how they have been suppressing activists and been complicit in shutting down people who have been protesting in support of genocide, they are still a reputable institution. So let's read this just to get information, because nobody is safe. While y'all are laughing at the possibility of Black trans women being harmed, that is not making Black cis women any more safe. So let's go here. This is from Columbia University, Mailman School of Public Health. Let's read here. I like statistics. Black women in U.S., and this was published last year in February 2024, so about a year ago. Black women in the U.S. were on average 6 times more likely to be murdered than their white peers for the years 1999 through 2020. According to an analysis of racial disparities in the U.S. homicide rates by researchers at Columbia University Irving Medical Center and Columbia Mailman School of Public Health, the study indicates that Black women are more likely than white women to be killed by guns. The study is the first to analyze homicide trends spanning 2 decades among women aged 25 to 44, the ages at which women are most likely to be murdered. The findings are published in The Lancet. It is well known that homicide rates among Black women in the U.S. are disproportionately high compared to white women, and that Black women tend to be murdered at younger ages and higher rates than other women of color in the U.S., including Native American and Alaska Native women. Despite these facts, data on the disparities remain limited. As a scholar whose research examines intimate partner violence, I have long known that there were disparities in homicide rates between Black and white women. To uncover the fact that Black women are murdered at rates as high as 20 to 1 is heartbreaking and underscores the urgent need to make substantive structural shifts, says Bernadine Waller, PhD, lead author of the paper and postdoctoral research fellow in the psychiatry department at Columbia University, with a dual appointment at New York State Psychiatric Institutes. The study findings also show that homicide rates among Black women were significantly higher than for white women in all 30 states analyzed, with the biggest differences in states with the highest racial inequities. The greatest disparity in homicide rates was in Wisconsin in 2019 through 2020, when Black women were 20 times more likely to be murdered than white women. Black women in the U.S. were more likely than white women to be killed by a firearm, particularly those in the Northeast and Midwest. The evidence suggests a strong link exists between higher homicide rates and the effects of deeply entrenched racial inequities, which manifest through factors such as educational attainment, unemployment, and wealth distribution across the U.S. This suggests that measures to reduce structural racism in the U.S. could help prevent elevated rates of homicide among Black women. Understanding how disparities in homicide rates change over time at state and regional levels may help identify areas where intervention is needed most. Okay. So yes. Why? So okay. So it's some more here. I'm not going to read through all of this. However, while people are sitting here rallying for this gay boy who was still a man, this gay boy to enact violence on T.S. Madison and everybody else who are Black trans women, that is not making y'all more safer. Because, again, according to this article and according to this study, and I'm pretty sure this is not the only study that has been done on this, Black women are still unsafe and they're more likely to be killed by a gun. And I'm pretty sure a big bulk of this research is going to lead back to intimate partner violence. So, like, the root of this and why the DL whisperer is able to thrive is because you're able to corral this group of women who are really is desperation. You're so desperate to partner with a man, because that's what this is about. This is about the hate that y'all have for trans women because you feel like we are taking your man away, and you want to partner with these men who are statistically likely, if you partner with them, they're statistically likely to visit violence upon you and murder you. So y'all are sitting here hating us because y'all want to partner with these violent, problematic men. And like, sweetie, none of us are safe. And y'all are sitting here giving money to this man to enact violence against trans women, the same violence that will then come back and is enacted upon you, and then the cycle continues. So I don't understand how people don't see that, how people are in, and how people don't see how this person is on recorded video being vitriolic with his threats of violence against people, and black women who are supporting him are saying, "Oh, this makes me feel so safe. I feel so safe seeing this man be so violent and how he is engaging with this particular community." Even if we're going to entertain, even if y'all don't see trans women as men, the fact that this man is so quick to be violent with another man, that should concern y'all, because violence somewhere is violence anywhere. If a man is quick to be violent and hit another man, what makes you think as a woman that you're going to be exempt from that violence? I've never known a man that is violent, that's quick to fight a man, that's just going to stop it being violent and fight on a woman. I've just never seen that in my 37 years of life. So it's just like, we have to stop being hypocritical. Like, we just have to stop being hypocritical. And the fact that this child, and I believe the GoFundMe originally started at $5,000, and it's been able to be, every time he reaches his goal, he keeps raising it, and y'all keep giving him money. Like, y'all should really be ashamed of yourselves. And this really and to me, this shows that y'all really don't care about protecting, y'all really don't have to, y'all really don't care about protecting anybody from violence. Y'all really care about perpetuating violence and creating a stage for it to be shown and platformed and monetized and capital. Like, y'all don't care about protecting Black women from violence. Not if you're actively giving your money to this. You're just not. You're just not. And he is still sleeping with DL. You can't tell me that he's not sleeping with DL men. Like, no shit, he's probably in that prison getting his fucking life. Like, y'all are a fool. Looks like we have a comment. I'm gonna have to watch this chopped up, but I'm glad you're taking the time to discuss this. Yeah, I wanted to discuss this because I could get on here and do like a quick quippy video, or like something in the TikTok style, but I really want to slow walk this and take my time because there's just so many layers. And ultimately, I want to get to the ultimate point that women, nobody is coming to protect us. I had that realization in my late 20s because in my 20s, I was a pick me. I was a pick me early in my transition, and I had this fantasy that I was going to transition and I was going to get my sex change and I was going to meet a man and fall in love and we were going to have the white picket fence and ride off into the sunset. But life does not work like that. And as a woman in this world, that is a very dangerous mindset to have. And then particularly in context of me being a Black trans woman, and I've had this conversation in so many ways and so many forms on the various different platforms, whether it was Box Number 5 Soul podcast, and then again on my singular podcast, Girl Down Podcast, specifically around the 4 story and him coming out with his attraction to Black trans women. These men are not here to save us, because at any time they are going to deflect to their male privilege and put the blame on us in order to keep whatever societal privilege that they want to keep. Like they are not, I don't believe, and I'm gonna be real, and this is controversial. I really don't believe that a lot of trans attracted or trans amorous men are invested in the liberation of Black trans women, but of women as a whole. I just don't, I believe that some are, but I don't believe that is the majority. I believe there are a minority of men who are trans amorous and trans attracted who are feminists, but I don't believe that it's a majority. And every day that I'm proven right by particular people that platform themselves as visible, but seeing some of the things that they say, particularly around Black trans women and how we demonstrate our autonomy for ourselves, like men are not coming to save us. So we have to learn how to save ourselves. And a large part of that, especially for women that primarily date men, a lot of that comes from decentering men. And that looks different for everybody. But I could care less about centering men. That does not mean that I'm not attracted to men. That does not mean that I don't sleep with men. But I have to prioritize myself, and I'm not looking for a man to save me. I'm not looking for a partnership to save me. I have no desire to get married or to legally bind myself to a man and have a man make decisions on my behalf as a Black trans woman. That's just not a life I want to sign up for. And I've had the opportunity. I recently had the opportunity to do that, but that's just not the type of life that I want to live. I don't see myself living that life. But these men are not coming to save us. These men are not coming to save us. And we have to realize that men, this applies to all men, but especially if you are going to date and partner with Black men as a Black woman, like you have to understand that there is a risk for like violence and intimate partner violence. And also, DL Whisperer, this gay man is still a man. And for the women that are supporting him, if a man can be violent with T.S. Madison and Dominique and Cherry the Boom, don't be no fool and don't think that he can't be violent with you or that he has your best interest at heart. Like, to me, it's just not congruent. It's an incongruency. So let me see. I want to go a couple of more places before I go to my last point, and then we can end the live. But I thank y'all for rocking with me on a Sunday night. I thank y'all for hanging on. Again, make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to my page. Also, make sure if you want to come on and give your opinion, jump into the live chat, and or the link to come to the video is up. So make sure you click the link or you copy the link and click it, and I will bring you up on the show so you can share your opinions about this topic. I want to go here because I'm going to share a little bit from this video. I ain't going to share too much because something tells me the Shade Room can be shady, but we're going to share this because the Shade Room recently did a video about this topic. I want to say 2 weeks ago when T.S. Madison formally applied for the restraining order. So let's watch this. Da, 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 da. This is the Google search. Okay. No. Which one is this? Let me see. Oh, okay, here we go.
Has spiraled into a web of online harassment and now criminal investigations.
I knew that this was a global problem.
Because before he became the DL Whisperer with over 240,000 followers on Instagram, Naquan Palmer admits that he was known as the DL Lover Boy on social media, where he once boasted about his sneaky relationships with men.
What makes a DL man in your eyes?
What makes the DL man in my eyes is the man that is dating women and secretly sleeping with men, having desires for men, or anything of that nature involving homosexual activity.
I did see an interview that you did about you almost losing your life. Talk to me about that moment. You were dealing with the DL man and you exposed him on social media?
For us, we had been dealing with each other for 5 years. So of course there was a lot of tumultuous moments, but that was the first time I had ever said, you know what, I'm done. And he thought that because I was done, that I was gonna go expose him. So, like I told him, after 5 years, don't you think I would have already exposed you if that was my intention? Like, we've been through worse stuff than me being done with you.
He says that's when the light bulb went off. He rebranded himself as the DL Whisperer with the goal, he says, to protect and educate women.
I knew I would be hated. I truly just got on TikTok to give out information because I had a job, so I wasn't on there for money. There was no ulterior motives. I just knew that women needed this information and I had it.
He breaks it down to his followers in hours-long PowerPoint presentations. Here's a glimpse on TikTok. He calls out...
Okay. Let me see. I didn't realize the interview was that long. Okay. Let's get here.
Naquan Palmer, you thought I wasn't gonna find you? I know your address. I just sent you your address. You ain't answered back yet.
The online rhetoric turning into serious threats.
These girls are obsessed. You want it to box, but clearly now you want to take it to the streets. Then we're gonna meet it there. I'm gonna actually beat you to the streets. You said you're looking for me? Cool.
Palmer even alleging that television and trans media personality T.S. Madison doxed and threatened his followers on social media. She has denied this publicly after weeks of online back and forth.
Yes, Madison, bring that ass outside.
It got even uglier when a video circulated, allegedly, of Palmer driving around T.S. Madison's personal property in the suburbs of Atlanta.
Look where I'm at, ho!
There is video of you going to T.S. Madison's house. She posted it.
As you know, that's the open court case. So if you want to talk legally about anything, you would need to talk to my lawyer.
Now, the digital publication
I would be very curious right now if he was able to secure a lawyer, or now that he's arrested, is he just going to have a regular Georgia public defender? But I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. But let's proceed.
A magazine, they got a hold of the paperwork, the court paperwork. T.S. Madison filing a temporary protective order against Palmer last week that prohibits him from, quote, any acts directly or indirectly which harass and or intimidates T.S. Madison. He also has to stay at least 500 yards from her, and Palmer can have no contact of any type, including by phone, fax, or through media. We also asked him for his lawyer's information. We asked that information twice. We have yet to hear back or receive it.
How dangerous is this kind of rhetoric on social media?
It's extremely dangerous on so many levels because we say we want men to be honest, authentic, and disclose information about who they are. We say we want that, right? But this tactic does not create the environment for people to be honest about who they are and their sexuality. If you are using being gay or having sex with a man as a dig, a slight, something that makes you less than, then of course men are not going to be honest about their same-sex attraction, right? So this type of content further pushes them into secrecy, the closet, and to be dishonest.
In your opinion, why do you
Okay. Let me see. I feel like it's another part where does he ask him any more questions? Okay.
% likes women.
You telling me that nigga that was born a man, a male, a boy, and want to be a girl knows what a real is thinking?
Channel for new weekly episodes of this show.
that stereotype and that just that darkness too? I saw that you said, and this is a pretty powerful quote. You said society demonizes people that aren't straight. Do you feel like you're perpetuating that stereotype and that just that darkness?
The issue with DL men is that self-hatred projects onto everybody. That's why I'm like, what they don't realize is that just coming out of the closet and being so open with themselves will allow them to love themselves. It'll allow them to receive love and be able to give love. Because see, that's the big thing with DL men. They can't build emotional connections because they don't love themselves.
But some do argue that it's a projection from his point of view.
The DL whisperer wanted to be picked by DL men. And when he realized that fantasy would not be fulfilled because these men are at the end of the day DL, he came on here and he formed a cult. And in this cult, he spewed his hurt that he was getting from those men onto you women. And let me make this crystal clear. I do not agree with DL men whatsoever. I feel like I have the choice of whether or not I want to deal with a Hannah Montana or not. But my point is, how can y'all be so easily influenced by something that has not been authenticated? It's almost as if I can't have you, nobody else will.
And it has spawned into pushback from members of the LGBT.
I would be curious to ask him, does he love himself? Like, do you really love yourself? Because the same self-hate that you are accusing these DL men of having, it has to live in you for you to not only do this, but you to spiral out publicly in the way that you have. So yeah, it's very hypocritical in my opinion. Y'all, if y'all have any more comments, please feel free to pop those in the live chat. I'm taking it to the final act of this because I want to connect this because y'all, we have been here before. Everything in life is cyclical. And we have been here before. So I'm going to take us to the final act of this. Also, the link is still on the page. If you want to come on to the platform and give your opinion just of this, please feel free to come up. But do y'all remember the DL detective? Y'all remember the DL detective? Let me take it here. Let me take it here. Let me get off of this. But do y'all remember the DL detective? Share screen. So there was, before the DL whisperer, there was a social media influencer, social media figure back in 2016, 2017, whose name was DL Detective. His real name was Markeith Rivers. And I remember this vividly because this person was a hot mess too. He was based in Charlotte, North Carolina. And what he would do is that he would have sex with these DL men, secretly record them having sex, and then afterwards he would extort these men for money, would threaten to release the video or publicize that they had sex together if he didn't get money from them. And he would, like, his range of DL men, it ranged from everyday men to pastors and I think even athletes. And it was a mess. Well, what ended up happening was he messed with the wrong person, and he got shot by one of the men that he outed. So let's read the article. So this is Mark Heath Rivers here, and then this was a picture of him after he was shot. He was shot in his stomach. And like I said, I remember this clearly, and we have been here before, and these are the waters that the DL Whisperer is playing in, and this is how things could possibly end for him. So I just want to make this connection. Like, at the end of the day, doing all of these shenanigans, it's not worth it. And really, it just shows how much self-hate that you have, that you would, one, be willing to exploit yourselves, but exploit these other people. So according to the article, a man proclaiming to be a DL detective was reportedly shot by someone he outed on social media. Mark Heath Rivers has gained somewhat of a social media following for exposing gay men on the down low, via hidden videos he then posts online. Rivers has stated that he has a calling to expose down low men, to protect innocent women. So again, we have somebody with the same MO. Innocent women who are being affected by the covert actions of DL men, but you're protecting them while also sleeping with them, getting physical gratification from it, and then exploiting them and getting financial gratification, but you are protecting women. Okay. While specific details of the shooting are unknown, there's been a buzz on social media for weeks now that Rivers was robbed and shot in his home state of North Carolina back in December by one of the men he exposed. Now Rivers has reemerged with a statement that it was definitely one of his conquests who tried to kill him. Online stories reported that the DL detective was shot last month and stated whoever shot him also robbed him, and then the person also set his car on fire. Apparently, someone posted Rivers' address online after a video he posted earlier this week. Rivers gained notoriety over the years after he made it his mission to expose a pastor in Charlotte as gay. He reportedly outed Pastor Enrico White of Weeping Willow. Okay. So yeah, I remember this DL detective person. And it's like the only difference with him is he wasn't particularly transphobic. He didn't really have anything to say about trans people, but I remember this, and this is we have been here before, and this is a cautionary tale. And so, one, you can't be claiming to protect these women if you are still going to end up having sex with these down low men. Like you're not protecting them. You're actually exploiting these women by getting money from them, getting a following from them, but still sleeping with these men. But also, it just shows a lot of self-hate that you have for yourself, that you're willing to put yourself in these dangerous situations and scenarios. Because dealing with men, period, is there's a level of danger to it, but to add the layer of purposely going after DL men and then trying to extort them, that to me, that just shows like a reckless disregard for your life. And for you to have that callous, reckless disregard for your life, to me, that signals that you have a level of self-hate, of self-loathing about yourself, that you would publicly put yourself in this type of situation. So now I want to go here because he actually did an interview on a platform. We want to go to YouTube. And y'all, we are towards the end, but I just wanted to just show that this stuff is cyclical. And honey, we have been here before. I think I'm gonna go here.
But thank you. How did you notice me right here?
Because I know, I don't, we passed and I just know what you look like.
I must look the same online as I do in person. Because
Yeah.
everybody see me out, they be like, hey, Marquise. And I'm like, do I look the same? My name is Marquise Rivers, and I'm also known as the DL Detective. I've been shot, left for dead. People have shot at my mother's home. They robbed me, or they stole my car and set it on fire. They've done everything to try to break me. Shot, robbed, attacked, all that kind of stuff.
I don't give a fuck about what people think about me. I do what I want to do. I do what I want to do. I mean, did you honestly think I wasn't gonna show nobody?
A lot of women have no idea about the gay lifestyle. They have gay friends, they have gay siblings, they have gay family members, but they don't know deep into the gay community. So a lot of women are in relationships with men, married to men, have children with men who they actively are sleeping with or have slept with that are in relationships with men. And they would never know if no one said anything, because there's several other gay men out here who won't do what I do, who are not going to tell people, hey, I'm sleeping with your boyfriend, or hey, I'm sleeping with your husband.
So I met bruh. He seen the post on my page and shit. I met him. He got down. Motherfucker out there chasing me and shit. I'm scared for my motherfucking life. You know what I'm saying? Nigga know where I live, everything like. Y'all women don't understand the shit that I have to go through. Like, to help y'all know these niggas be on the down low. You get what I'm saying?
I'm going to be the one. If you want to know if your man is on the down low, you call Marquise Rivers. And I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out, and I'm going to notify it. And I'm going to let everybody know. I'm going to let the entire world know. I'm not to play with when it comes to that. I don't work alone. I have decoys. I have to pay people for information. I have gay men that work for me, transgender women who are men who are now women that work for me, that help me and aid me in what I do. And basically, I go out. I have hidden audio recording stuff that I have that I can record them admitting to what we have done or what they will do, whether they want to be paid.
Y'all, is all of this worth it? So again, I wanted to bring up the DL Detective to show that we have been here before. Life is cyclical. This is cyclical, and then to bring it to the present with DL Whisperer. DL Whisperer is not doing anything groundbreaking or doing anything brave. You are taking advantage of a way to create a following for yourself and to create notoriety, but you're not doing this because you are doing this in the interest of protecting women. You're not. You're doing this because this pathway has already been modeled for you to then step in and to come and capitalize it. And back during this time in 2016, 2017, I don't even think TikTok was a thing. This was like at the burgeoning of when Facebook Live was the hot shit. And Facebook Live was a new thing, because I think a lot of his videos and stuff, he would use Facebook Live, and then he would use YouTube to upload the videos. But like, DL Whisperer is not doing anything groundbreaking. And again, from what you heard from this interview, it's a lot of this. It's a lot of the same disingenuous reasons. You're doing this to protect women. You're doing this in the name of giving women the information, but you're sleeping with these men, and you probably, if you had the chance, you would sleep with them again. Like all of this, you're doing this for. So the gay boys are doing this for access to these straight men, these straight coveted, unattainable men, and then women who are homophobic and transphobic are supporting this because they want the possibility of partnering men who are completely straight and completely eliminating any man who may be queer, even if he's bisexual and would still be into women, just eliminating them, because to them, being a straight woman with a straight man, that's the perfect union. So everybody is motivated for motivated to for the possibility to be desirable to men, or to partner with men and get the benefits that come from men, whether it be social capital, financial, or to be able to tell these stories. So everybody is motivated by men. Again, these are the type of desperate lengths that people go to when you live a life where you censor men and everything that you do. And it's unfortunate. And it's unfortunate that we are back here. This was 2016, 2017. We are right back here again in 2026. Like, we are right back here again. So, and yeah, and again, going back to the story that I told before, you got robbed, and you went and you made your family became a target. And I believe that's what happened with DL Whisperer and Naquan Palmer. You playing all of these games, you lost your job. I think not only your information got doxxed, but your family's information got doxxed. So you playing these games is putting everybody in your orbit into danger. For what? For what? So there has been an update on DL Detective. So apparently, and I'm gonna just share it. And I'm sharing this because I'm going to connect this with DL Whisperer, and what I think is at the root of him coming so hard, why he is coming so hard at these visible Black trans women. Just from what I'm seeing from being in the game, from being a Black trans woman, and also knowing how some of these butch queens move, and why some of these butch queens are motivated to be so hateful to the girls. So let's go here. Share screen. What? Thank y'all for sharing with me. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Make sure y'all like the video. Please comment in the chat. Please comment in the chat. If you're in the chat, share the video, or if you're able to comment directly on the video, please do that. So let's go here. This is okay. So let's just rip the Band-Aid off. So apparently this video was posted in about this is from 7 years ago. From 2019. Damn, that don't feel like 7 years ago. So apparently some years later, the DL Detective or the DL Whisperer re-emerged in 2019 as Sabrina Frazier. Let's see. There was a video that was reported about it. Let's see what they had to say.
I am now transgender. I went under the knife. Had some plastic surgery. Being beautiful, as I was very attractive before, but being a beautiful woman, I mean, it is a wonderful lifestyle. I was going through hormone replacement therapy for quite some time, actually. And after the passing of my mother, I just went really hard at it. I needed to take some time off. I needed to just live life and enjoy life and be me and just enjoy my beauty as I am beautiful. But I'm back now. I mean, I'm okay. I'm alive. I'm not dead or anything. A lot of people thought I was like dead or deceased. I'm not on no obituary here. I mean, good gracious. So I'm back as a transgender woman. As I've said, I mean, I love the lifestyle. It's beautiful. I mean, it's everything that I've always wanted, always dreamed of. However, I have missed my fans and supporters dreadfully. Like I really have. And I just needed me time. And I don't want you guys to feel slighted that I didn't tell you that I was going under the knife or doing hormone replacement therapy or becoming a woman or any of those things, because I put my life out for display. But I'm back now. I am Sabrina. That's the new me. That's who I am. And I look forward to showing you guys another side of my life. So I hope you enjoy and love you. Bye. Oh, and one more thing. Please don't confuse my newfound womanhood as a invitation to try me or come for me in any type of way. One, my mouth still runs the same.
No shade, bitch. The voice was kind. The voice was kind. The voice is kind, and the look was kind. So it was kind.
And I still can torture you with my words. Two, I still fight like a man. You know what I mean? Whatever. When I beat excuse me. That's the old me. And I just want you to realize that I'm back. I'm back. I'm better than ever. I'm beautiful. I look good. I feel good. You know, I'm back. I'm back. So I look forward to sharing this new journey with you. I swear I do. I promise. So I just love you guys. And
yeah, so the DL detective, at least back in 2019, I don't know about now, but in 2019, Marquise transitioned to Sabrina and was living as a woman. And let me go to this other video. The voice was kind. The voice was really kind. The voice was kind. No shade. Let me go to this video. Okay, it looks like
maybe about a year ago, Marquise River.
So it looks like it's some more pictures of her. Okay. Okay. And it looks like at this time she was engaged to be married. She look kind. She looks kind. And it's no shade. No, I have no problem giving a girl their life. Okay. So I brought this up and I thought it was important to bring this up, obviously for the salacious part of it. But to me, in my opinion, and I want to preface this is I don't know this to be true or to be fact. Why I think DL Whisperer is going so hard and particularly has this venom for the girls, in my particular opinion, and I wouldn't be surprised that at some point in the future that DL Whisperer, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a transition at some point in the future. Because to me, it doesn't make sense why your hate is this pointed and this targeted to every trans woman that is visible and that occupies the same space as you do. And when you move through the world as a trans woman and you are in community with gay men, Black gay men, sometimes it's a small group of Black gay men that want to transition. It's a group of Black gay men that they're not interested in dating and partnering with other gay men. They are they're only interested in pursuing straight men or straight adjacent men. And I feel I have come across gay men that you can tell deep down inside that they want to transition, they've had thoughts about transition, but for some reason or another, there's something preventing them from transitioning, whether it be their upbringing. They might have like a really religious parent or grandparent in their life that has been very religious and they feel like they would lose support. Or you have the situation where you have the butch queen that's really, really, really kind, but how do I say this? It could be for a number of reasons. They could be like because they really give men, like they might like be like 6 foot. They might have a very mannish appearance. They might be like really, really tall, or they might have like a size 16 shoe. And I'm not saying this to be funny, but there are some like butch queens, cunty butch queens that like in personality and essence is cunt, but in like their figure, it gives like man, it gives like big man. And sometimes there can be hesitation when it comes to physically transitioning because they don't know like what it would look like if they transition, or it would be the type of transition where they would move through the world in a way where there's no way that you will be able to move through the world and people don't know that you're trans. Or if people know that you're trans, that people are not going to give you a hard time for it because you exist so far outside of the spectrum of what like a passable woman could be. And sometimes that can be in their mind because like living this life, I done seen some trans women that are like 6'7", 6'8", and they might have a size 15 or a size 14 foot, but they look kind. Like it's all in how you carry yourself. It's all in how like styling and energy and bring it through. But it takes a certain type of mindset. It takes a certain type of mindset and it takes a certain type of exposures to different types of women to really push through. And everybody doesn't have that resiliency in them to transition. So what I have experienced is some butch queens who are very mad that they can't transition for whatever reasons, and that turns to hate towards actual trans women. And I suspect that is what is happening in this situation because according to the booking records at the jail that DL Whisperer was booked in, I mean the face could be cunt because it's a very painted, like the face could be cunt, but like you're 6'4". Not to say that you can't transition if you're 6'4", but I'm not in your head. So if you don't feel like you could pump around through the world as a 6'4", and no shit, there are 6'4" women. Like if you have the mindset, you could play it like, oh, I'm WNBA unfish. Like that's how you could play it. But again, in order to transition, you have to have something in you, and everybody doesn't have that. Everybody doesn't have that grit to transition and move in the world and have the grit to withstand everything that's going to come at you. Not only because you're going through a transition, but you have to affirm yourself as a trans woman in a world that hates us so much and hates us on every level. And every transition is not for everybody. Everybody's not meant to walk this life. Everybody can't do it. And everything is not for everybody. But something deep down inside of me tells me at some point that the trans thing could be the DL Whisperer's path. The unfortunate thing is, if you do it, you've been so harmful, you've been so vitriolic that you're really not going to have any community because people are going to remember. Like this is infamous. Like, people are going to remember this. You might be able to create community with the younger girls. That's even if we're even allowed to transition anymore after this administration. So if girls are still able to come through and transition, you might have a situation where DL Whisperer has transitioned, and they'll be the 40-year-old older trans woman whose friends are like in their 20s or younger, because those people don't have any memory of how you acted. But all of the girls who are your contemporaries age wise, we're not going to forget this. And like, if this is the path that you're going down, you're setting yourself up to be isolated. And I've seen varying versions of butch queens that have been antagonistic to Black trans women, and then like 5 or 10 years later, they've transitioned, but they wonder why they can't have sisterhood. Because it was like, when you was a butch queen, you weren't sisterly to us. You was a fucking menace. You threatening to kill the girls, and you getting arrested for it, and now you have a record for it. So I suspect that's possibly an underlying reason why there's so much animosity, and also it's why it explains why you're trying to create community with Black cis women. But like, it's cute for now, but you have to know that they're going to turn on you eventually. Like, there's just no loyalty in that. But yeah, we're almost at the 2-hour mark. It was very important for me to like really, and I'm to really slow walk this, to really go through the layers, because I just really want people to understand, and I want people to arrive. I want people to understand, but I really want. I think the main thing that I want from this video, if I had any desire or any hope from this video, the main thing that I want us to leave with is that our public figures in a spotlight are still human. T.S. Madison is still human, and none of us are immune from the violence that exists in this world that is perpetuated against trans people, and that ultimately nobody is. We should not be looking to other people to protect us. We should be taking steps to protect ourselves. So T.S. Madison modeled what that could look like. Responding to a point, but when it got to this violent point, taking the steps to take out a protective order, getting in contact with a criminal lawyer that can they won't be able to do anything, because ultimately in a criminal case, the state is the one that can press. It's not like a civil case where you, the individual, can sue another individual for any harms that you may have incurred. In the realm of criminal law, ultimately the state or the county, which is acting as the state, is the one that has to bring the case against the perpetrator of the violence. So T.S. Madison demonstrated what it looks like when when somebody is threatening violence against you, and you're taking steps to protect yourselves and to make sure that you're documenting everything that's going on, and that there's a paper trail. So I'm glad that she is demonstrating that on that level. Also, we all know that T.S. Madison has weaponry, and I am sure that if he would have took it to the next step and came up in her house, all she would have had to say is, I felt like my life was in danger, and I believe Georgia is a stay in your ground law. And in your house, honey, if somebody is coming in that you did not give access to and you feel like your life is in danger, I'm gonna let y'all fill in the blanks. But to my girls, particularly in the red states where the gun laws are a little more lax, if you are able to get weaponry to protect your person in your home, I highly advise you to do that. I am somebody that believes in the Second Amendment, and I will exercise my Second Amendment right as somebody that lives in Texas. but even if you don't, I know in in the blue states they make it's a little bit more loopholes to get a gun. But I remember when I was living in Illinois, you can have a gun, but you have to go through a class and get registered. In the blue states, it's more steps. But if you can get a gun or get some type of weaponry, get it, because we have to be able to protect and defend ourselves, especially against direct threats of violence and bodily harm to our person. But yeah, we have to protect ourselves. Black cis women, I really hope y'all understand that by supporting this nonsense, you are not making yourself safe, or you're not he's not giving you the ability to be safe by being violent. And that same violence that he is threatening upon us is the same violence that you all live under, that leads to Black women being murdered, period. So we need to be eradicating violence, no matter where it shows up, whether it's between men and men, men and women. We need to be eradicating that violence, because people just don't reserve violence for one group of people. If somebody is violent with one group of people, that is likely that they'll be violent with any person anywhere. And we know that that violence is real amongst Black women communities, and we should not be perpetuating, funding, or encouraging violence. We just should not. I'm eager to see how this case plays out, and what the outcome is going to be. But just make sure that y'all give our Black trans women figures in a spotlight some support, because it's not easy. It's not easy, and the rug is constantly being pulled from under us. And we just need all of the support that we can get. Shout out to the Black cis women that get it. Shout out to the Black cis women that are constantly windmilling for us, rallying for us, stepping in the gap to do the labor of educating folks, because we are clearly exhausted. I do see y'all. I do know generally at least amongst us as Black people and Black women, the tides are changing. People do have the language. People are aware, but we still have a long, 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 long way to go when it comes to holding people accountable for their misogyny, their transphobia, their misogynoir. We just have a long way to go, but ultimately, we should not be looking to other people to keep us safe. We need to be keeping ourselves safe. And we need to stop giving our power away. That's all that I have. We are about to reach the 2-hour mark. I didn't know this was going to be 2 hours, but I'm so happy that I did it. I'm going to leave. I'm going to let me just be here an extra 5 minutes. If you want to come up on here to state your commentary, or just state how you feel or how you reacted to my discussion on this topic, I will put the link up again. Let me play some music, and I will be here an additional 5 minutes. Let me play some music and wait to see if anybody wants to come up. So let me go off camera. If you want to come up here to comment on tonight's conversation, I have the link right here. Please click the link if you are here watching this live, and I will bring you up. I will stay on here until 9:35. Or if you want to type something and you're on YouTube, please type it in the live chat. Okay, so it looks like nobody is able to come on, which is fine. Just lets me know I will catch y'all in the replay. So it looks like we've come to an end of another AeonEsq live show. Let me see what this sounds like.
Yeah.
So we came to the end of another live. I want to again thank y'all all. Thank you all who were here live for spending your Sunday evening with me as we take a deeper dive of this DL Whisperer story. I look forward to seeing how this plays out. I will definitely be reporting on this as it goes because, like I said, it's something that I'm interested in. Please be kinder to each other. Also, please, if you have a trans person in your life, check in on them, show love to them. These are hard times that we all are living through, especially for those of us who work in the trans space. A lot of us are suffering in this space. Like, I know I recently lost my job in December. So, I'm in a better space, but it was devastating to just see how this administration has just shaped how it's been impacting trans movement and trans advocacy work, and shit out here is real. So just make sure that y'all are being kind to people, checking in on people, making sure people are well, making sure that we are standing up in the face of blatant transphobia, homophobia, misogynoir. I will be back here tomorrow for another episode of AeonEsq Live, where I will be I have two things that I want to talk about, and there might be some more things, but there's no more TSA pre-check for the time being. I'm devastated because I am a TSA pre-check girly, and I have a flight. I have to go out of town in March, so I'm concerned about that. So we want to do a little deep dive on that and just the real reasons behind that and the implications. Also, there was a ruling from the Supreme Court that was released on Friday regarding Trump's tariffs. So I want to do a breakdown of that and then just talk about some of the responses to that and just have a deeper conversation about the Supreme Court, why this could be important, and just have some generative conversation about that. And I'm pretty sure there'll be some more stories in the mix. But I want to thank you all for joining the live. I will see y'all back here tomorrow. Make sure, if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube page so that you'll get notified the next time that I go live or post up another video. Thank you all for supporting me so much and spending time with me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see y'all soon. Good night.